Hi, so welcome to the live stream. So I'm going to be channeling Archangel Raphael, and Raphael will be giving messages according to who's listening. And just before starting, I'd just like to mention I do have one-to-one sessions available on the Archangel Raphael site, and I've put a few weeks up of sessions, so you can book ahead if you want to. Um, and also through that, you can join the shamanic protocol, have a 5-minute transmission, monthly transmission, also the fundraiser for Gaza, where you can receive 4 different types of transmissions: physical for physical wellness, emotional wellness, mental wellness, or the oneness transition. And to do that is $60. And yeah, you can access that via the site. Also, the Gen site for groups, past groups, audios. We have a new audio out about power, and also on the description, there's a link to a shop, an Etsy shop, that's set up by Ahmed, the sole survivor from Gaza. It's a new shop is set up, and he's selling T-shirts that he's designed. And I'm actually wearing one of them today. Like my one arrived yesterday, and he's got very nice designs on it. And the T-shirts are actually very high quality as well. And yeah, very, very, very good design and fit, and material as well. So if you wanted to check out some designs, you can just click on that link, and it's got quite a few there. So yes, I'm just going to let Archangel Raphael come in now and speak through me. I would like you to know that what I'm seeing at the moment is that there is a lot going on many levels, and it is not so much about needing to keep clearing energy, but it is a time where you need to give yourselves time, because what is going on a deeper level is that energy is clearing automatically. So there are things which are working their way through you. So sometimes what I'm actually seeing is that it is better to rest rather than do more work on yourselves, because the energies that you clear on one level need to move also on a very physical level of your life. So sometimes what will happen is you will feel out of sorts, and you will not really know what to do, what will give you relief. And it is good to know that sometimes there is nothing you can do. It is about simply being, allowing, being in a state where you can actually be with the discomfort just for a while until it has settled, cleared, where you then feel clear again and well. So sometimes you will have days like this where you will just want to do nothing and just rest and be. And this is because the energies do need time to really settle on an earthly level. I also will say to those of you who do a lot of work on yourselves energetically that you are not being asked to stop doing this, but simply to know that you cannot always solve everything with energy work, that sometimes it is really about allowing the energies to settle to ground, and then your 3D self feels clear again. But it can take a while, actually, for some things to fully move through you. And this is also about the emotional energies that need to clear as well. I also would like to share that nobody here has got it all sorted yet in your lives. You are still on journeys. You are at different stages, but you are still on journeys to really get to a place where you feel things are more settled in your lives. Because I will say that there is such a thing as getting to that place where things are more or less running smoothly in your life. And this is actually a sign that what you have done is cleared enough energy for things to actually go forwards without constantly having problems and big eruptions of energy within that create chaos for a while. So I will say that you will eventually all feel more settled. It may take a while for some of you, but I will say that being settled is important so that you can then put your attention onto other things that you may want to do and create. To feel settled when it comes to your everyday life. So, this means living in the right place, being with the right people, feeling more or less that things in your life are okay. Perhaps for some of you, it may mean distancing yourself from some people in your life, perhaps some members of family or people you have known. But it will mean different things to different people. But get into a place where you generally feel well, comfortable, settled is very important. And sometimes people are believing that when you are on the spiritual path, you will always have to be going through chaos, big upheavals, dark nights of the soul. And what I will say about this is that this has absolutely been true in the old age. But in the new age, you will all be able to find a place where things are more or less okay, where things are very much in the light. And the things that then arise are things that are more about pushing yourselves beyond comfort zones. So things involving expansion, growth in terms of areas of your life that can be better and functioning better. But I will say that it is not that you will not have dark nights of the soul, but it will be a different energy, something else altogether, more like moments where there will be expansion, growth in a big way. That will mean that you will have to be very aware of how you are able to stay connected to your higher self, your inner being at that time, to put real focus and be aware of how you can keep doing this, stay connected, and also grow, also go beyond what you are used to. So it is a reminder that we are living in new times, and it is important generally for people to feel okay, to be okay, but in a way that is very much connected to their true self. So, not okay simply materially, physically, but actually okay on every level. So, really in harmony with themselves, their spirit, who they really are, that this is important, that it is no longer time to live with discomfort, to put up with things, to just tolerate the people, the situations in your life, to find ways of coping with things which are uncomfortable. It is not that time anymore. So, this is why you are going through a lot of discomfort at the moment, because you are clearing these things away so you can get to a place of greater ease, flow, grace, a place of general happiness and wellness. And this is also a reminder to those of you who have never known this in this life that you will get there, that you will absolutely get there. I would like to speak now about something else, and that is it is really important to remember that everyone in life is as important as each other. That it is not about one group of people being more important than another group. And the reason I am reminding you about this is because at the moment there is a lot going on in the world around this, a lot of awareness about this, a sense that there has been a lot going on that has actually made certain people superior to others, whether it is the colour of one's skin or whether it is something else altogether, like a type of philosophy, something that someone does for a living, whether it is something else altogether. But it is important to remember this at this time, that you are all beings who are living on earth, who are actually very much about creating a sense that there is equality between you, that you are not superior to one another, and actually you are not inferior either. It applies both ways. And those of you who are perhaps in some way or another believe in things that are not quite true about yourselves, it is important to go inwards at the moment. So, if you have always believed you are less than others, it is important to change this, to work on this deeply. And also, if you have had a sense of being superior, perhaps because of the lineage you are part of, perhaps because you are more intelligent than a lot of people, may have a lot of knowledge, intelligence, perhaps because of the colour of your skin, the race, religion you are from. It is important to look at this as well, because what I will say about these energies is they can be hidden within you. You may not even realize you feel superior or inferior, but these energies are all coming out into the open at the moment. So there is a lot that is being discovered about things that people are believing on a level that is beyond the conscious mind. There is a lot that is coming up in the world around race, religion, the things that people believe about themselves. So it is good to go within and really look into this deeply. And as you address this, and as you acknowledge the places in you that feel inferior or superior, they no longer control you. That as soon as you acknowledge something, see something, it has no power over you anymore. So that is really what I'm speaking about. Going deeper, really looking at these things. And perhaps you will even identify that some of these things are just not yours. They are coming in from your lineage, coming in perhaps from ancestors. So it is also a way of clearing out what doesn't belong to you, really coming back to yourself fully and completely, and remembering that ultimately through this you are able to grow and expand more on earth. You are able to actually then, in one way or another, go much deeper and be able to be with people who are part of absolutely anything in terms of their social position in life, what they do, and even going as far as to be with people who are from completely different cultures, different types of energy altogether. So it is a reminder about this. I would like to speak about one more thing, which is very interesting, and that is there is always going to be a lot going on around identity in the world, a lot that is actually being, in one way or another, explored. Whether it is the identity of being someone who lives outside the system, so someone who is perhaps living in a way which is very alternative, off grid, perhaps identifying as someone who is not part of the mainstream. Perhaps it can be identity around gender. It can be identity around even social standing or things that involve the things that you are doing in life on a grounded level, such as identity around being part of a certain type of group of people who do certain things like healers, light workers, or even really grounded things which are more earthly, such as working on the land as a farmer. But what I will say about identity is that it is really important to know the difference between identity, the things that you identify as, and what is really who you are inside. And sometimes identity and your true self are very deeply intertwined, that really there is no difference, that you may identify as someone who is about bringing in more light into the world. And actually, that is your true self. So sometimes it is the same, but sometimes there is actually a really big difference between identity and who you actually are. And what I'm really trying to say is don't get into the mode of looking for identity outside of yourself. So going into the mode of finding things in life you resonate with and making that your identity. Because the things you resonate with today may change tomorrow. So look very closely at yourself. Go within and find your identity from within and go as deep as you can, because in this way you will be really going into your true self identity. And this identity will then be able to really help you actually. Because when you do find your true self identity, something that is actually timeless, eternal, it is very powerful. It means through this you are able to actually go deeper into your true self in life on a grounded level. So, one example is that when you really find your identity as a light worker, even the type of light worker you are, perhaps you may feel inside you are the type of light worker who is really here to be with people in a grounded way and go into problem areas and bring in light rather than simply be in higher energies and bring them into life and see who receives them, who resonates with them. Perhaps you feel you are meant to be more on the ground with people, with what is really troubling them and help them through it. So, as you realize that about yourself, you then will find that you are able to move forwards faster because you know who you are. And this then attracts to you more of what is right for you. But when you are in a bit of a haze about who you are, things happen in your life to show you who you are. But some of these things may be really uncomfortable. So if you are like someone who knows what your position is in life, but not in depth, then you will keep having experiences to show you what you don't resonate with, which may be really uncomfortable in order to find yourself. So it is really useful to go deep, to find out who you are, even if who you are doesn't fit into any category on earth. And it is also good for you to know that at the moment, new identities are actually coming into being on earth. Things that have not been recognized in the past because new energies are coming in, but actually new people as well. So, people who perhaps have not incarnated for a long time are coming back to earth. And they have their own identity, which is unique. They do things that in the past perhaps weren't done or not by large numbers of people. So new things are coming in. So it is important to go within, find out who you really are, what you are about, and whether you fit into something or not. It doesn't matter because whoever you are, you will find your tribe by actually first going deep and acknowledging yourself from within. I also would like to remind you that it is a time where old energies are also dismantling. So there are things which will dismantle. there is a lot of false light energy as well around identity. So, one example is that there may be people on earth at the moment who believe things about themselves which are not actually true in terms of really being part of their true self. So, as these things dismantle, it is also much easier for people's true identity to be able to come forth and be expressed. So, this is a reminder that a lot is shifting at the moment, a lot is moving. It hasn't really settled yet, but it will eventually. And when it does settle, there will actually be a lot more clarity, a lot more information about this subject generally. So, this is a reminder that at the moment, this is a very strong subject on earth and it applies to every area of life. And so, it is good to look into this. I have no more to say. What I would like to speak about is the week ahead. And what I see here is that there is a lot going on around actually going inwards, going deeper, finding more light, and also a time where you may feel inside you are not necessarily able to make much earthly progress, because I see it is more time of going within, inner change, but not necessarily a week that will move fast in earthly ways. That is all. Hmm. Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening. Yeah, wishing you a really good week ahead and lots of love to all of you.